Hey, it's me, Caden Bartlett. Now, I know it's been a while, so I thought I'd give you a little refresher on the job and everything that's happened so far. So, sit back, relax, grab your flavor of vitae, and let's get into it, shall we?
Good evening, Dove. Hope this message finds you and your coterie well. I'm looking for some help from you all, or specifically from Sheriff Damian himself. Now, as you know, the Lysander have been a hot topic in Jackson's court as of late. And while all the negotiations have mostly gone through and Lysander have been officially welcomed into Chicago's Camarilla, Jackson has been trying to get a census of all the Lysander in Chicago. Seems there's one that has been causing some trouble as of late, at least according to Lysander Representative Sierra Van Buren. Now, Sierra tells me that her sibling in Vitae, Malenkov, has a lot of dissent for the Camarilla dealings and still aligns himself with the Sabbat. A problem, obviously, and Sierra wants him gone so he doesn't ruin the negotiations that she's been working so hard on, and it seems Prince Jackson is inclined to agree. The thing is, Malenkov has not been seen for months, but Sheriff Damian has informed me that his hounds may have a lead on where he is within the Toreador circles, with a neonate Toreador by the name of Portia, and, well, that's where I thought maybe you and your coterie could come in and help. Now, of course, Sierra has convinced Jackson that this Malenkov should meet his final death, but Jackson is hesitant to call a blood hunt on the Lysander right now as to not meddle in the delicate negotiations he's been working on. Well, normally this is something I would love to take a lead on, but as you know, things have been quite busy for me, and this allyship that Jackson has set up between your esteemed coterie and myself has been working well so far, and your work for Jackson's court has continued to make waves, and I'm sure that this one will also. Now, here's the job. If you can find Malenkov, stake him. Bring him back to Sheriff Damian. If it's too much, I'm sure his final death may also be suitable. Just be careful, darling, okay? His sire's a powerful Lysander, so he's likely to have some powerful shadowy shit up his sleeves. Now, the last thing. Sierra is one that I've been keeping an eye on lately. She's been quite involved with Silas Lysander Sr. in recent months, and I wonder if this Malenkov might have some things on Sierra that could be of use to us. So, might not be a bad idea to get some info from him about Sierra before turning him in. Now, I'm arranging a meeting for you with another coterie that you may have heard of in the Chicago area, the Lysanders. We have recently formed a fruitful relationship, and being that Sierra has been involved with her father, it may be advantageous for you to loop them in and work together. I'll arrange a private room for you all to meet tonight at the Succubus Club. Best of luck, and I'm sure I don't have to remind you the standard protocol, which is to destroy this recording after this message is received. Stay beautiful, and we'll be in touch.
We've got a job from the prince. This was set up by Caden. Just full disclosure.
Every time his name comes up,
Look, I'm not
something
happy.
bad happens.
We need this. We can't keep having this conversation.
We need this or you need this?
What I need is what's best for this family.
Oh my god.
I don't know how many times we're going to go over this. Do you think that we're going to survive in this city without the favor of the prince?
You've decided to join us.
This wasn't the room you're supposed to be at, right?
Yes,
We're
you
here
could
on
have
time.
been. You could have been here earlier as well.
Oh, don't sweat it.
We've
We're
been
having a
waiting.
good
I'm just
time
saying
already.
we've been waiting.
So I understand we're meant to be acquiring somebody. And throughout that process, if we can, learn some information about the Lysander dealings, specifically about Sierra Van Buren.
Malenkov's a problem. From what we hear, he has decided that there is no reason for him to pretend to play nice with the Camarilla. And we all know what happens when people like that decide to run amok in a city like this.
He's Sabbat aligned.
And this Malenkov, their relationship to Sierra is...
Bloodmates.
They both were embraced by the same individual. So they're siblings in Vitae, essentially.
Great. So, Khalil, Ida, Dove. Finicky, thinking on their feet, physical, doing sneaky stuff, social, very charismatic. What do you bring to the table?
Money?
Would think that his sibling in Vitae would want her reputation to remain intact if she is as invested in assimilating as she seems to be.
Sierra's been nothing more than a thorn in our side. Anything to bring her down a peg is a win for me. Sierra does have access to some sort of blood magic, unfortunately.
I thought that was kind of your thing.
It is.
Yes.
They let just
That's
anyone.
why it upsets me.
Interesting. I didn't know that's how it works.
It doesn't.
First, what did we see, Maki? Man, bald, smoking a cigar. Very large. Right? Right. Talking to another individual? Think masculine. Longer hair, past their shoulders. And they were in like a really classy place. It's like a, I think, jazz playing? Yes, there's a super tall building, probably a skyscraper, that was crumbling apart. Is that metaphorical?
Annabelle has arranged for you all to meet with somebody. And as it's a bit awkward and quiet for a few minutes, there is a knock on the door, and Brett opens the door for an individual to enter the room. You see an elderly individual. Tracy! I'm starting it off great, everybody!
We'll talk later.
Yeah. Critias. He is the professor at the University of Chicago who teaches night classes for kindred, and especially fledglings are usually asked to attend. And Prince Jackson did mention this to you all, but Willow, you were actually the only one to attend the classes at the time. But more than that, the professor, our Maréchal Coterie, and our Lysander Coterie would know him as the Brujah Primogen of Chicago, and very well esteemed within the city.
Annabelle asked me to step in. Evidently, you're having difficulty accomplishing tasks that you were set to do. Malkavian is notorious amongst the Primogen. A lot of talk about this individual, though I don't believe that any of us have ever met. He did unspeakable things to kindred in Miami and New York, and all I could possibly say about that is they disagreed with something that ate them. I do know that he always has ghouls nearby, at least two, possibly more.
You act like money wouldn't make your life easier, Ida.
Money wouldn't make my jobs and this job easier for me.
They are Lysanders. And that, for better or for worse, means something in Chicago. And we shall see if they prove themselves worthy of the family name. A hotel, an upscale hotel, I dare say it might have a jazz bar in it.
Oh.
The Diamond Yama. The prince both needs and wants a Lysander representative amongst our circle. For now. That means meddling with her would upset Prince Jackson's plans. So unless you are prepared to be on the wrong side of Prince Jackson, you're going to find some other way to deal with her. I don't recommend final death. If Sierra is harboring a known savant malefactor, that may give you some advantage with her as well. Lysanders, I truly do wonder if you do understand who you are and what your lineage is. It gives you enormous potential, and I don't think you have the slightest idea of what a formidable force you could be in Chicago, were you to pay better attention and work together. And I don't think you have any idea how much danger you're in because of it.
Two team presence and dominate are going to be going into the building, from what I understand, and then team obfuscate is going to be scouting, and then team blood magic is going to be let's go. Is going to just be making sure there's no bullshittery happening. Essentially,
I do think that
perhaps your own money talking, and
I pull up and I take out a few like $100 bills out of the clip, put the bills in my pocket, and put the clip down on the table.
There's no actual words exchanged. It's just glances and money.
Just money.
This is the first time you've seen it, as you use your words.
Oh yeah.
But you see
Don't
him
use words.
in a different way of communicating.
As we're walking back, I smile. Money's not that useless, right?
You make eye contact with another, and they begin to walk up to you. A person, they are a female who has short, tied-back hair. They're well-dressed, and they look at you.
Your name?
Michaela, but people call me Malort.
Malort.
I work for Sierra.
Oh, you do?
Oh, you.
Okay, well, you have my attention.
So what has it that Dorian Lysander and his date?
Don't flatter him, darling.
I'm happily married.
Well, that doesn't stop people of your family, does it not? You watch Malort put her hand on the table and begin to move toward your wrist. She grabs your wrist tightly. Her long nails.
Let me rephrase that. Let go of my hand and tell me where Sierra is, and I'm gonna use dominate.
Oh my god.
Right, there we go. That's a good roll. 7 successes.
Well, they're not the
7
He's
successes.
gonna dominate.
Then to Sierra will go. Oh my god. She pulls her hand back and turns. And we cut that scene. So Ida and Willow,
Yes.
the two of you walk into the building and are unseen. Suddenly, your visions hits you again. Another premonition begins to enter into your mind, and you can't see, but Willow freezes. Willow, the individual, you see around them shadows. Shadows looming around, and then a shadow of a person whispering in their ear. And as you look at the whispering shadows, you see a bald head. You see them whisper and nod. And the person is nodding. And it's clear that they are nodding, but you see nobody next to them in sight. The shadows whisper and vanish and head to a back door of the club. Ida, you look around, and as you're looking at the bar, you see the individual get up with the long hair, and they walk to the back room. And they exit the scene. And Silas, Khalil, you sense the unseen, and you begin to just walk around the building. You do see what looks like windows upon windows in this building. And looking up, certain windows, as this is a hotel, it looks like there's just windows for every room. And when you sense the unseen, just some windows have markings on them that stand out to you. Not every window, just one on one floor, 2 on another floor, 3 on another floor. And as you're looking up, more and more of these certain markings that stand out to you. Markings that are familiar of those of the Sabbat. The two of you look up at the building, and you hear a voice behind you. Can I help you? The voice sounds Russian in nature.
Oh, fuck my life.
And you turn to see a big individual with bald head and a cigar in his mouth, looking at the two of you.
No.
And that is where we will end our session. And for now, to be continued. Welcome to part 2 of Shadowhunt, and thanks for sticking with us through all of this. And that little recap, I figured it was a bit of a longer recap than we normally do, but I wanted to get everybody back in the headspace of where we were and where we left off, both our players and our audience, because it has been a while. The last time we all played together was the beginning of December at PAX Unplugged. We were all together in person, and the session, we had basically like a limited time that we could play together, so I didn't want to rush the story. So I was like, okay, gang, let's just, let's take our time with it. We can do a part 2. And so that is what brought us here today to do the part 2. So we didn't have to like force a rushed story at the table together. The only downside to that is that it was a little bit difficult with scheduling, getting all of us together. We're currently all players in like 3 different time zones, and all of you who play games together, this is no. Everybody's familiar with the issue of scheduling, and unfortunately, it hit us once again today with Laura. As you can see, Lauratutu, aka Khalil, is not with us. We did coordinate to have everybody join today. Unfortunately, she's having some major issues with her internet right now, with some of the storms and things that have happened here in the US, there is some internet and power outages and things like that. So she unfortunately is not able to join us. And originally we were debating of potentially rescheduling, but we have gone through quite a bit of like trying to find a time that works for everybody already. That's why it's taken like over a month for us to get back together. So it was like, let's just continue on with the story. And unfortunately, Laura is not able to join us, which is sad. So we will continue this story, and of course we are going to continue the rest of our stories here on MejiRPG moving forward. We're kind of getting back into our regular cadence of things. So with that, this Friday, we are going to have our usual Ancestral Blood is going to return this coming Friday, which is another reason why I was like, we kind of have to finish this part of the story before we can get back to Ancestral Blood on Friday. So we're going to be playing today and then also on Friday. But on top of that, we also have tomorrow Ignite Recall. So if you want to join us for our Scum and Villainy campaign, and they just came back last week from their holiday break. So if you'd like to join us for our Scum and Villainy story, that is tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Pacific. You can join us for that. And then the last thing that we have going on, we actually have another thing happening next Monday. If you are in our Discord, I don't think I announced it on all of our other socials yet, but if you're in our Discord, you would have seen this. We are going to be back here next Monday for our Werewolf the Apocalypse one-off. Heart of the Pack is returning. And if you have been following the Ancestral Blood story so far, you may have an idea of what may or may not be happening with Heart of the Pack right now, because it does have direct correlation to some of the things that have been going on in Ancestral Blood. And that will actually close some other storylines and little things that have been happening within our greater story, which is really great. It's great that we get to do this. We get to have these crossovers, not only with these two coteries here, but also with our werewolves. It's all in a larger...
And our hunters.
Universe and our hunters. It is all in a larger universe of this Chicago story that we're telling here on MejiRPG. So it all is connected, which is great. So join us next Monday for the return of the Garu. I'm very excited to be diving back into Werewolf the Apocalypse. One of my favorite games that I ever ran was Werewolf. I love the vibes of Werewolf the Apocalypse, so you definitely want to join us for that. So that's all of the announcements and everything that I think I wanted to get into. This will be up on YouTube tomorrow. I think I may do a couple of cuts and edits just so the YouTube audience knows the context of what's happened and why Laura isn't here and everything else. But that's everything. Last but not least, content warning for World of Darkness. We are going to be in a for today's content warnings. It may get a little rough, it may get a little violent. So just make sure for yourself you are practicing your own self-care. If you need to step away, if things are like, oh, this is a little too heavy for me, make sure you take a break for yourself, audience, but also for players. If you all feel that there's something that's a little too intense or heavy for you, we will absolutely take our own breaks. If we need to cut the stream and take a quick break, we will do that as well. So just so everybody knows, but World of Darkness, it does have some darker themes, of course. So that's everything. Without further ado, let us dive into part 2 of Shadowhunt, our Vampire the Masquerade game. Do you ever get that sinking feeling, that existential dread that washes over you when you realize that there's really no turning back? You cross a bridge, that bridge, it's burned now, and you're committed to what you've agreed to what you're in. And perhaps in these last few moments, that familiar dread has settled over all of you. Perhaps you shouldn't be here. The comforts of your haven, your domain, you wish you could just go back to that comfort and not have to deal with the problems in front of you. But no, that ship has sailed. And that familiar knot tightens in all of your stomachs. There is only one direction you can go now, forward. You made your deals. You met with each other as coteries, and you decided that this was the path forward to confront the problems that face Chicago and the Camarilla with the Lysander. And those feelings of dread, perhaps that's precisely how you feel, Willow and Ida, as you stand within the very luxurious Diamond Yama Hotel, the sound of jazz and drinks all around you. This very nice hotel in the heart of downtown Chicago, owned by Sierra Vampiris, a prominent figure within Prince Kevin Jackson's court, the face of the ushering of Lysander within the city. And of course, your mission to investigate her sibling invitee, Melankov, a notorious Lysander, rumored to be still aligned with what some would say, perhaps your Critas, the medieval death cult of the Sabbat. And then, Willow, you have just returned from a vision. That quick glimpse of a shadowy figure whispering in the ear of this longer-haired gentleman. And now that shadowy figure is gone. And the man is heading toward the back exit of the hotel. Though you and Ida stand obfuscated, not able to fully see each other within each other's vision, but you know your presence is there. Machiavelli scurrying in the back corners of the hotel, not to be seen by the patrons and cause panic, but making his way around. My question for the two of you, or maybe perhaps you, Willow, as we cut to you, is there anything that you would like to do as this all happens?
So I can't see Ida, but I know she is there. And I think that's enough after seeing this vision to just... Oh, and she can't see me. But I can...
If I remember correctly, if you whisper, you can see each other.
You could. Yes.
I give a little whisper. Actually, that does that expose me to anyone else?
For your obfuscation, no, it would not.
Okay. You would do like kind of creep towards and kind of whisper out in the direction she thinks. And of course would become visible. Wait.
Sorry, was that way?
Yeah.
Oh,
I realized
okay.
I whispered and that's not going to pick up. But she would whisper and say, they went that way, and do a point.
Oh no, did we lose our glorious storyteller?
We lost our storyteller. I guess we just have to tell our own story now.
And I make it to the back door, and we save them. The end.
And Malankov is chill. He lets himself get staked. We bring him back.
He's a pretty cool guy, actually. He kind of gets it when we talk to him.
He shared a cigar with me, you know. He's like,
I
damn, I
understand.
didn't know you were chill like that, dude, and just gives me a
Yeah,
cigar.
like,
Yeah.
You down to
He's
like?
oh my god, you
hang
want
out?
dirt on my sister? I got
I'll
you,
give
bro.
it to you. Yeah, I'll give it to you freely.
Yeah. Oh, you don't like Sierra? I don't like Sierra either. Let's kill two birds, one
we hate
stone.
her. Oh, we
Yeah.
hate her. Actually, I'm tired of being part of the Sabbat. Can I be
Yeah.
friends with you?
Yeah, right? Can I join
they're
the
like-
Lysanders?
Yeah, sure, dude. You want to help us kill our dad?
We need some muscle.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
I would love to. I'm a big fan.
Yeah.
I always read the papers y'all are in.
Yeah, the things that you like, or sorry, the things that you Lysanders do, it's just makes me happy.
Can
we
I
say,
change
"Oh my
my
God."
last name to Lysander as well? You know,
Actually,
Of
can you
course.
adopt me? Like,
When we have, two single sisters.
I mean, why not? If he'd like. Oh, he's a bald man, isn't he?
He is a bald man.
That's okay.
What do you have
That's
against
okay.
bald men?
Well, as long as he's like Vin Diesel shaped,
Oh no, he is.
I think we might be dealing with some more internet issues from our storyteller. Yeah, unfortunately, the internet is not appreciating our game today. Let's see.
Dude, the Camarilla is trying to silence us.
Yeah.
They don't want the Sabbat, in fact.
Oh.
They don't want us to overthrow.
They don't want Malenkoff to die.
Bacon.
Oh, are we back?
Caden, you get out of
Oh.
here.
Come back.
Caden, no. Caden's talking.
Wait, okay, hello.
Okay.
Okay. I don't know what just happened. My internet just took a dump. It was working fine on my phone, so I think it has something to do with my PC. Which is concerning.
PC time.
But can everybody hear me and see
Yep.
me okay?
Yep.
Yes.
Looks good.
So
We are
as
back.
apparently my internet cut out and I heard you guys like, I guess we'll just hang out with Malkavian. I was like, no. I was like sitting there like,
Oh, we've already adopted him. He's
Yeah.
in Lysander now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, no, this is I could hear it as my internet, but apparently I
so
had
funny.
already lost you guys, but I could hear what you guys are saying, which is really funny. Okay, so the last thing Willow was whispering to Ida.
And I pointed to the back door.
And you pointed to the back door. That is the last thing that I heard.
And that was
So-
the last thing I did.
Okay. Sorry, chat and everybody watching. We apparently are just having all of the lovely issues and things. It's just one of those days.
It's the pain of streaming in the middle of the day, like when
This
they
is
send out little updates and packages, and I got
not conducive
landscaping
for-
now outside my apartment.
Yeah. This is
Dude,
why we
yeah.
should always Kindred should always play at night.
We should always be playing at
not
night.
during the day. But that is
I
besides
have
the point.
daylight in my room.
C'est la
Just-
vie.
Okay, so
As-
Ida, what would you like to do?
As Willow whispers that and points towards the door, Ida will whisper back, but I won't whisper because my mic might not pick it up. She'll whisper, "Go," and she'll move there. You can run. I mean, she's still in the headspace of like if people might see me, I want to look as casual as possible. But she does walk in that direction.
a casual walk.
So are you going to be revealed now upon walking to that door?
If we have to open it ourselves, then yes, one will have to become.
We might
visible
not
to
have
people.
to.
Yes.
Oh.
So as you're heading toward the door, you do see the gentleman opening the exit, and he walks out.
We stick our foot in it? Would that count?
If you stick your foot in it, it's like a mental thing, right? Like this person mentally
They meant,
holds it
yeah.
for a little bit longer because they're I think it works like that.
You know what? Just roll me a quick for both of you. Just a quick like wits and obfuscate. If you click on, well, I actually don't know if you can do it on
I can do it.
Demiplane. Okay.
I clicked both of the names and it pulled up.
I'll just roll.
I have 4.
Okay. Willow, I would say actually, even just with the 4 successes, yes, you can head to the door and you just kind of put your foot in to keep it open. And you remain obfuscated. The individual looks, and it takes them a second to register, and they try to continue opening the door. Ida, what would you like to do?
As far as I'm seeing it right now, this person wanted to walk out through the back door outside. Willow was before me, and as he walked through and like the door was maybe closing, she put her foot through it so that we could pass through it as well.
I see. Yes.
That's how I thought this was going. Is it?
Yes,
I did as well.
I see. Yes. No, he does pass through the door.
Yeah,
and
I
he
have
doesn't.
no intention of stopping him.
No.
Yep.
We just want to get through the door with him.
Yep.
Real quick.
Yes, and with the wits and obfuscate, he doesn't notice and continues walking.
Okay.
I think for the moment the goal is to tail this person, wherever they're going, basically. Yeah.
Willow, as you're watching him, you see him pull out a phone. It looks like you recognize that it's definitely a burner. He pulls out like a flip phone, and you see him pressing some buttons on the flip phone.
Okay. She would give a little point, a very exaggerated point of like.
He doesn't make any calls.
We peer over his shoulder.
You can.
Is that too close?
It would require another obfuscate roll if you were to get in like breathing down his neck distance. And this is like, it's not like a big, smartphone where it's like a big screen. It's like a little flip phone with a little small screen. So it would require you to be like breathing down his neck.
Okay, I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll try it. No, fuck it. I'll try that.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah, let's do it.
Fuck it, we ball.
Fuck it, we ball.
I'll try breathing down his neck. Would that count as Dex obfuscate?
Yes, roll me dexterity and obfuscate.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. I have 2, 4, 6.
Okay. 6 successes. Yes, you glance over his shoulder, looking at him texting with the T9 keyboard that he has to like click 3 times. For all of us back in the day, when you used to have to text, you'd have to click the thing 3 times to text. He doesn't have a full keyboard, but you see him typing and texting a number.
You're really aging yourself here, Tracy.
I know. I'm just like in my head, like I remember using these flip phones. So you see him write T-minus 30 minutes and hit send to a number. It's not a contact. It's just a, it's just a number with a Chicago area code, and doesn't look like they're a contact.
Okay. As they sent that message and put the phone back, do they remain standing here for a second, or do they seem to be waiting? Do they seem to be?
Yes, at that point,
to go back inside.
At that point, you see him standing, but he looks around, and I would like the both of you to also now roll me wits and awareness.
I'm scared. Ah!
One success.
I have 4.
Oh.
Successes. Willow, you hear this. Ida, you do not. Actually, you smell it. You smell
icky.
You smell a cigar. That seems to be coming from right around the corner of this building. So he's on an exit, and this looks like it's a side street with dumpsters, where this hotel probably takes out a lot of its trash. But you smell the cigar coming from down this road and to the left. Not terribly far. The fact that the scent is lingering, you smell it.
As soon as she gets a whiff and can tell the direction vaguely, she does do another little... She taps her nose, does a little sniff motion, and then points, like... And then does one of these.
You do that, and Ida, you... I will say, Willow, where would you have liked Machiavelli to be? Would you like him to have stayed inside the hotel, or would you like him to join you on the street?
I would like him to join us on the streets.
So you do this, and Machiavelli is also nearby. Maki begins to scurry in the direction of the scent of the cigar.
He's found something. She's gonna start following him.
Okay, because I'm gonna say, I'm so sorry, but Willow has been doing all of these things, and Ida has barely a grip of what the hell Willow is trying to do here. She's like, oh, this person's an important one. She's like, oh no, they're that way and stuff, so...
Her doing full-on charades here for you.
Yeah.
But like, and like making a decision in the moment where not quite knowing what's going on here. So, like, this person did text that stuff, but then Willow moves forward. She makes the decision of, well, I might as well just stay with Willow so I can protect her if needed. That's the kind of mind space.
So the two of you head down the alleyway and turn a quick left to follow the scent. And you look down, and that's where you see a familiar sight to what we all have as an audience have seen previously. You see your two Tremere, Silas and Khalil, standing. Khalil looking distracted, looking up, but Silas staring down at the large, bald man with the cigar in his mouth as he finally finishes the last of it and throws it on the ground and steps on it. He stares face to face with your brother and your friend. And we'll cut from that scene for now. And instead, return back inside the hotel to where Dove and Dorian just were in the private VIP area, where an individual who Dorian just finished using dominance on and told her that she was to take them to Sierra right now. And she does just that. Malort stands up and fixes her well-dressed. She actually wears a suit. It's a well-fitting suit. She definitely looks put together, despite you can tell she looks a little rough around the edges, almost like a personal bodyguard of sorts, perhaps. She looks rough around the edges, but is dressed very nicely. And with a glaze over her eyes, she says, "The two of you wouldn't mind following me then, and she gets up and exits the VIP area. The two of you follow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Walk with her. As we're walking to our destination, Dorian would say, "My father must love this hotel. I hope he's not too demanding on the staff when he's here."
What is that supposed to mean?
Has he been here before?
Your father, yes, he has. He's taken the whole tour. He's seen everything. It's technically, I guess, part of his property now.
So he'd be well aware of everything that goes on here.
I suppose so, yes.
That's interesting. So you've been with Sierra for some time, is that right?
Yes, she and I are very close.
I see.
Unfortunately, she's not here at the hotel this evening. But she's not far. So, if you both wouldn't mind following me, she's currently in some of the office buildings next door.
Dorian would look at Dove, make sure that she's okay with his plan.
She doesn't look pleased. She has one eyebrow cocked. There's a hint of annoyance in the arch of it. But there's nothing else for them to really do. She might whip out her phone and text Khalil real quick. And eat a little Coterie group text.
You send a quick message to them. What would your message entail?
Headed over to the office building nearby, and she does 3 different kinds of pink hearts behind it.
You send that message, and the two of you follow. And as you exit the area, the VIP area, and look at the regular lounge again, you quick glance around just to gather if anything's changed. You don't see any of your other coterie mates here. And then as you step outside and walk with Malort, you don't see anybody of your coterie outside either. It's clear they are all involved in the business that you all set out to do, but you don't make any glances or exchanges with any of them. You can't see any of them. You walk to the building next door, and it looks like this is like an auxiliary building of the hotel. It also has the branding of Diamond Yama, but it's not, there's no like rooms here for people to stay or anything like that. It basically just looks like it's an office / auxiliary building. And as you enter in to this lobby, also very nice, clean porcelain lobby, Malort walks to the elevator and says, "She's at the top floor." And presses the button, the up button on the elevator, to leave the two of you to enter by yourselves. And she waits in the lobby.
Thank you for all your help.
Of course.
Okay. You ready?
As I'll ever be.
And Dorian will offer his arm and to Dove, and
She gives it a glance again. I thought you were married.
just being friendly. And he'll walk into the elevator.
She kind of gives you a smirk, one corner of her lips. She's being shitty and she knows it. And as he starts moving, she'll kind of slip her hand over into the crook of his elbow and move with him.
Interesting. A notice has been made. And this just gave me an idea, actually, that I thought of something.
Oh no!
So the two of you head up and into the elevator. You see there's a bunch of numbers, but one just says P for penthouse. And you assume that's probably what it is. You press that and make your way up. As you ascend to the penthouse floor of this building, any exchange between the two of you before this happens?
You know, you're not really good at letting other people take the lead.
No, I'm not.
I thought we agreed I would do the talking. Oh, did you forget?
We did. We did agree.
I'm happy to let you dig this hole for yourself, but I just want you to know that when we talk to Jackson about it, if things go awry, it's on your head, not mine.
I don't plan for things to go awry.
All right.
We're gonna be fine.
Then I'll let you continue to do what you're doing.
Look, we were paired together for a reason. I don't want to step on your toes either. This is a family
Paid
affair.
for my time. She kind of like pulls the money out a little bit, tucks it back in.
You know, I do find that money tends to make its way towards people that know how to use it. And you seem like somebody that knows how to use money.
I don't know if you're trying to flatter me or bribe me.
No bribe. Outright offer. Same one I made back in the limo.
If we ever need work.
If you ever need work.
Alright. Offer considered.
Well, we can maybe consider this a trial for a first job.
Oh. Well, then we might want to stick more to plan then, shall we?
Sure, but I have certain other priorities as well. I want to find out what Sierra is planning with my father.
Alright, no skin off my nose.
If you can help me there, I could arrange for a nice check to arrive at your bank account.
Well, there has been a new season out. For Givenchy, perhaps I shall. We'll see what the evening holds for us.
Sounds good. And he'll look. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say he'll look eyes ahead as the elevator rises to the top.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The delicate jazz that was playing even in the hotel itself it echoes in the speakers of this elevator. But as the ding hits the top floor, you are greeted by a simply just a hallway to an office room. And this isn't quite the luxuries that Dorian you would see of your father's buildings or executive offices, but it is nice. And as you look down the hallway into the office, you see her sitting there, her short black hair. Tonight she dons a dark green dress, emerald green. And you see her looking out the window across to her, to the hotel. You see her glancing and looking. Then she looks back to the two of you. I wasn't expecting company this evening.
No?
Dorian.
Yes.
Now, This is quite interesting to see you here with... And she looks at you, Dove, and it takes her a second to register who you are. You could see her kind of doing the up and down look. Right, one of Jackson's. I've seen you before, but I don't think we've actually met.
No, I don't think you've had the pleasure. It's Dove.
Dove. Sierra, lovely to meet you.
I'd like to say the same.
Now, what is it that one of Jackson's and the son of Silas have to do here in my office?
Dove has her little hand in the crook of his arm. She gives his upper arm a pat and looks over. The floor's yours, darling.
Well, here on business, of course, from the prince. We've been looking for a, what was his name again? Malenkov.
He raises an eyebrow at that.
I understand you're familiar with them, right?
Very familiar, yes. This was a job from Jackson. Business with Malenkov. What is it that he would assign such a thing to you?
Well, that wouldn't really be your concern, would it?
Perhaps it is my concern. It's my clan.
Oh.
Well,
So you've had a lot of dealings with Malenkov recently.
I wouldn't say recently, no.
No?
No, as a matter of fact, I've been looking for him because he's been a bit of a problem.
Oh, that's interesting. And
You wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you, Dorian? Is that why you've come here? Or are you coming to let me know that he's been dealt with?
Dorian's gonna take a deep breath. He's gonna look at Dove almost with a raised eyebrow, as if to suggest you might want to take over, or I might get a little heated.
Dorian's about to Dorian.
She gives him a little simpering, like, oh, poor baby. All right. We would like to know where he is as well. So whatever help you can provide can help us both keep Jackson happy. And I know you'd like that as much as we would.
Yes, I would like nothing more than to make sure Jackson is happy and to not have any problems in our city. And yes, Malenkov has been a problem. That is for certain. But he's being dealt with as we speak.
Oh, then you know where he is. What's going on?
Well, I don't know where he is particularly, but I'm having my people deal with him.
Well, then you know someone who knows. And you can give us that information.
My question is, did Jackson really give you this job? Why is it that you all are so invested in taking care of this? This is Lysander dealings.
I want to be. Do you think I'd enjoy spending time with this man of my own accord? Do I look like that kind of girl?
There's
No
nothing
offense,
wrong with...
sweetheart.
There's nothing wrong with having a Lysander at your side. Take it
The
from me.
money's nice, but... Oh, that's right. I'd forgotten for 3 seconds. You're with the father figure.
Yes.
Interesting taste, but... I do have to get down to the matter of the prince's business, because I would like to use the rest of my evening to my own devices. So, you let us know who we need to get in touch with, or who you need to get in touch with, or however you want to get this information. It doesn't bother me. I just need it.
How about this? You leave the Lysander dealings to the Lysander, and we keep it at that.
I'd
I'm
love
taking
to
care
if
of
the
it.
Prince hadn't said otherwise.
Lysander to the Lysander, leave the Sabbat to the Sabbat. Is that what you're saying?
Interesting that you would say such a thing, Dorian. Isn't it your family that delves in Sabbat practices? Diablerie.
You know what would be interesting?
Oh,
would
Dub
be
does
to
the
find-
work.
And Dorian tries to barrel right over that. Wouldn't it be really interesting if Malenkov would be found residing at one of your properties?
The implications.
Not if he's dealt with on my properties. No. It's
No?
being taken care of. And there's nothing for any of you, your siblings, your coteries, to have to worry about.
Well, if you must ignore him, then you could listen to me. You don't want this to be something I have to report back to Jackson. I don't want this to be something I have to report back to Jackson. So if we could cooperate,
I wonder.
we could all be on our way.
I do wonder what the prince would say if we were to tell him that, oh, we just let Sierra and Malenkov handle their own business together. You know, former Sabbat clan members handling their own business on their own. How does that sound to the prince?
Jackson would never want to see his beloved city turned into a haven for senseless beasts, and neither would I. He wants Lysander like Malenkov purged from our ranks, and I am in full support of that, which is why I'm taking care of it.
We have a tiny hiccup in that line of logic, though. If the prince wasn't already concerned, I wouldn't be here. So, I think if you desire to stay in his good graces, giving us this information on Malenkov's whereabouts and what you know about what's being done is going to be the winning card for everyone here.
I know how you Toreador operate. You use your sweet honey words, but that was a threat, and I don't take threats lightly, no matter how sweet they sound.
You can take it that way if you'd like. I really just want to go home and have a drink. This isn't about leveraging threats. If I have to tell Jackson you won't listen, that's not on my head, sweetheart. That's on yours. I won't be punished for that. You will. I'm trying to make your life easier. You give Jackson what he wants. We all go on our way.
Or if you'd rather us handle this separately. Hey, we're happy to find Malenkov on our own. And if we find him at the Diamond Yama Hotel, that's what we'll tell the prince.
Well, I will have to tell him that you wouldn't give us the information.
Go right ahead, then. It doesn't... Your intimidation does not scare me, and I will not bow to your needs over my own, over my clan's.
Perhaps I've been very bad at this. This is in your best interest. This is in your clan's best interest. Who wants a ruffian like Malenkov besmirching their clan's name? I know if there was someone running around being ugly and terribly dressed, I wouldn't want them associated with Toreador. can agree on that, can't we?
Yes, of course.
So, just like I wouldn't want an Uggo running around, you don't want a ruffian besmirching your clan, especially one so closely related to you. The shame. When you're trying to get in good with Jackson, you're doing yourself a favor by letting me handle this for you instead of getting your hands dirty. Because if you're good, I can go back and sing your praises to Jackson. That's a win-win situation for you. You get rid of this man, you help me, and in turn, Jackson thinks you're lovely.
Now see, Dove, if it was perhaps just you and I having this conversation, maybe I would consider your words. But the fact that you've brought but the fact that you've brought a Lysander with you, and look, I do have an alliance with your father, but I know how his relationship is with his children, and I cannot trust a word that comes from Dorian Lysander's mouth.
Well, do you want me to send him outside? I can do that.
You know, you don't have to bow to us. You've already bowed to the prince. You can juggle your alliances with the prince and with my father all you want, but I think it's pretty clear what side the prince is on. So if you want to make your choice and choose what side of that line you want to be on, go ahead. I can step outside and let Dove handle this, because after this meeting, I'm fairly certain I know how this is going to go for you.
Are you fairly certain, Dorian? Because I'm not going to give you an inch of my information just to make yourself and both of your coteries look better. Because that's the whole reason you're doing this, is to make yourselves look good, right? You want to get a little bit more favor with the prince. Well, guess what? I'm doing that too. So I'm not giving either of you an inch. I'm sorry.
Look, we're all trying to get through the night. You want to survive. I want to survive. I don't just get a choice when Jackson comes calling, honey. Just like you don't. So, again, if we want to make Daddy Jackson happy and continue on our merry way, this is a sacrifice we're all making. I could be having a nice drink, and here I am, having this conversation with the both of you. Sometimes we do things we don't want to, because we like to live another day. Oh,
Dorian
night.
just
Fuck.
stares at Sierra with clenched jaw, barely keeping it together and preventing himself from saying more that he shouldn't.
Look, I'm trying to be really nice about this. Can't we just cooperate? She does turn to Dorian. If you're making this worse, I do need you to go outside. You can come back in when I'm done. I'll come get you.
Dorian's gonna turn around and go downstairs. He's gonna go right in the elevator and hit that lobby button.
As you hit the button, you hear Sierra yell, "Oh, and I'm sorry about what happened to your ghoul. It's a
He's
shame."
gonna stop the door from closing. I'm sorry. What was that?
And Dorian, you remember a few weeks ago.
Oh, I remember.
It wasn't anything
sense-
that couldn't be fixed, by the way, and it wasn't personal. Just so you know, his life wasn't on the line.
What did you do?
Well, he had some words exchanged with your father, and I did what I had to do to make sure that that wouldn't happen again. He felt ill for a bit of time, but he wasn't going to die. But I just wanted to say it wasn't anything personal. Have a good evening, Dorian.
Okay. Dorian's going to nod. And
Dorian,
he's gonna press that. Yeah, he's gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
What's your hunger at right now? Just curious.
Oh, I'm hungry, I think, if I remember. Oh, at 3. I'm at 3. It's not too bad.
You're being slightly provoked right now. And I would say perhaps if your beast was a bit more controlled and you were a bit less hungry, maybe you'd be able to hold this back. But the words that she's saying does provoke a bit of a fury in you. So I would like you to roll me a willpower check so you don't fury frenzy in this room. Which, if you click on your willpower on Demiplane, I believe you can click roll willpower. The difficulty will be rather low here. You only need 2 successes.
Where is willpower? Where is that?
If you go to where your health is, you see like humanity, hunger, health.
Oh,
you
there we go.
You press willpower at the very top. When that little pop-up, it should say roll willpower.
2 successes.
2 successes. You manage to keep your beast contained in this moment, but the provocation does stir a fury in you that if just a few more words were said, you would be ready to stay in this room and lunge at her.
Dorian is going to barely keep it together, and he's going to press that elevator button. The doors are going to close, and he's going to steam all the way down to the lobby, stewing. And when the doors open and he sees, I assume, Malort is there?
Yes.
He's going to walk up to her and he's going to say, "Hey, it's nothing personal." And he's going to pull out his gun and shoot her in the head.
All right.
Let's go, Doc!
Just roll me a Dex Firearms.
Dorian! Eustace, gone!
Okay, all right.
I love this man.
Oh. 1 success. I only have 1.
1 success. You shoot her. And she falls to the ground, bleeding. But she is still conscious. Do you shoot again?
No. But I think I would. I mean, I'm pretty hungry, aren't I?
You are.
So Dorian will drop to his knees, drop the gun, and take a deep breath before starting to feed on the open wound that is just spilling out onto the floor.
You do. And you take 1 hunger. But the question is, as your beast stirs in you, in that anger and fury that you just felt upstairs, do you continue to feed? Or do you leave it at just 1?
No. Like I said, it's not personal.
The taste of her blood is it stings a bit. Perhaps the name Malort hitting you as it tastes a bit... It's really rough, but it does the job. And you do feel a bit more sated. You leave her on the ground. And you walk away. You close the wound, of course. You don't leave. Or the wound of feeding. The wound of her gunshot is still there. But you leave her on the ground. And it only takes a couple minutes for somebody to come out into the lobby, but at this point, you're already gone. Back upstairs, Dove, you don't hear the gunshot.
Okay.
But Sierra looks at you. Now that it's just the two of us, do you really trust the Lysanders? Is this an alliance of convenience?
To refresh, Dove does have awe throughout the entire... it is the other building. Is this attached to the hotel?
It is technically attached, yes.
Okay. Do you want to have that expanded to here? It says well present in a building or similar locale.
I would say yes. For this, since it's all part of the Diamond Yama, I would allow that.
Okay, so her awe is in effect here. And she leans into it a little. She hadn't prior to maybe curry a little favor and make it girlies versus Dorian. But now, she closes the distance between them a little bit, little sachet in the hips, the clack of her heels on the flooring. Look, I don't trust anyone. I'm here to get a job done. And the sooner you can help me accomplish that, the sooner I can go home. You can enjoy your evening. And the prince is happy with both of us. I know I want Jackson off my ass. Don't you want him off yours?
I do, yes. She looks at you, Dove, and the effects of the awe does... You can tell she's less tense, her shoulders more relaxed in this moment, and she looks at you. I know that things in this city have been a bit tumultuous in the past year or so. And you work closely with Jackson, but I don't know if Jackson tells you and your coterie everything. But the Lysanders, they did something to my family. They took my sire and Malenkov's sire when he wasn't theirs to take. And because of that, I do want to make sure that they pay for it.
Well, that sounds like vengeance that you can enact on another evening. I'm not trying to get in between your ability to enact justice. I'd be pissed if my sire was fucked with, but... And I understand how this can be a little difficult. Malin, whatever, being your sibling. But... I know what's riding on this for your clan, right?
Yes.
And I know if Toreador were somewhat shaky in their standing with the Camarilla, I'd want to do what I could to make that not the case. Because at the end of the day, isn't that our larger family?
It is, yes.
I'm just saying that if ever there come a time where the Lysanders cross you, and inevitably they probably will, just
we
know...
have the kindred. Of course they will.
Just know it was myself that warned you first. You shouldn't work with them.
I appreciate that very much. Unfortunately, Jackson has decided, for the evening at least, that my association must be theirs. Trust me, it's not because I desire it. So.
Well, that is beside the point. If you truly are set on this whole Malenkov thing.
Oh, Jackson is, I show you.
I know that he is planning an assault on my hotel. And the thing is, well, it is collateral. Because it's not under my name anymore. It's under Silas Lysander Sr.'s name. So whatever happens to it doesn't matter. It's his money anyway. I don't know when or where he's planning, but I've been keeping my eyes out. The main place of his operations since coming back into the city, which, by the way, Malenkov was not here when I was making my negotiations, but it seems when word got out that the Camarilla were officially being welcomed back into, or when the La Sombra were officially being welcomed back into the Camarilla, it seemed to piss him off a bit, and now he's making his moves. But he usually makes all of his operations at a brothel here in the city.
Do you know the name?
Yes, it's called the Glory Pit. Which I didn't make that name, by the way, everybody. It's in the book.
God damn.
That is not my name. I always, every time I read it, I laugh. It's.
Well, that's tasteful.
Yes, you would be surprised the clientele that
I'm
go
sure
there.
I wouldn't.
Many prominent names within the city.
All right, the Glory Pit. I'm sure you've looked there for him already.
I have, and I've yet to find him.
Do you keep in contact with him through any other means? Don't worry, I won't tell Jackson. That doesn't need to be on the record.
Not presently, no. But I know
Alright.
that he has his other... I'm sure he has his plans with his own people.
Have you talked to any of them? His people, I mean.
I've been keeping track of one of his ghouls. They go
You
by
haven't
the
taken
name
it
of...
in?
Not yet. Because I'm waiting to see what their plans are. He goes by the name of Elijah.
All right. Can you give me a general description?
He has long hair, dirty blonde, usually well dressed.
Any defining beauty marks, physical characteristics that might help me pick this man out of a crowd?
He usually always... this is probably something that would be good for you as a Toreador. He usually always has one particular brand of suit that he likes to wear.
Oh.
It's a... and I can't think of a name... of a, it's like a, I would say like a mid-range, not like high-end brand, but it's like a pretty, like a mid-range designer brand that he usually wears. If you can spot that.
If I must. All right, so we've got the ghoul to talk to, we've got the location. You have not kept in contact with Malenkov, and you think he's going to attack your hotel at some point. Do you have a timeline for that? Any other information that might be useful?
Not presently, no. That's about as far as I've gotten.
But your people have been sent to deal with this?
Yes.
Who?
My ghouls and my fellow kindred Lysander. There's only a few of us in the city thus far.
Now, I do applaud you for trying to handle this business in-house. It does make a lot of sense to keep it in the clan, but I'm afraid we're a bit past that at this point. So, to keep damage to a minimum, could you put me in contact with one of your ghouls who might have eyes on Maléchal? Or, at least, give me the latest information you have on his location.
I'm sure Malort will be able to help you.
Oh. Fuck, I could have just asked her. Alright. Thank you for cooperating. I do appreciate it. It makes all of our lives a little easier. Now, you're going to be here for the remainder of the evening, yes?
There may be other business that calls me, so I can't say I'll be here the entire evening.
I think for Jackson's benefit, you might want to hang out in the area, because if I can't find you, if I need more information, that might be a hitch in our little plan.
Well, we'll see who takes care of it first, then.
Jackson won't like that, darling. I do understand. I do. I empathize. My dead little heart goes out to you. But if we want to make waves positively, maybe we work on this together. Especially, here, look at it this way. Look at it this way. She kind of leans in conspiratorially. From me to you, the Lysanders are also trying to win a little of Daddy Jackson's praises. If you come through in a way that's impressive, well then, that kind of steals the show now, doesn't it? Gold stars for you, none for the Lysanders. And maybe that might just result in Jackson having a bit of a more sympathetic ear to whatever business you have going on there. A little taste, yeah?
She writes, she grabs a pen and a notepad and writes a phone number and slips it to you. If you need me.
Thank you. All right. Now, I'm going to try to deal with this tonight, so I will keep this handy. And if it has a few little heart emojis, you know it's me.
Lovely to meet you, Dove, and if perhaps sometime, since you and your coterie are quite close with the prince, as am I, perhaps at some point our paths will cross again and maybe we can get some drinks together as with your coterie.
Oh, I do love a good drink. I'll definitely keep it in mind. I hope
She
you have a
nods.
better evening.
And you as well.
She does kind of like a little mock curtsy and will turn and head out.
And Dove, as you're heading down the elevator and make it to the bottom floor, it's at this point you see the sight of a EMT medical individual standing over the body of Malort, and a few other individuals making phone calls, and the sound of sirens approaching. But Dorian is not in sight.
I don't think she pins this on Dorian immediately. Actually, let me roll for whether or not she's smart enough to piece that together.
You could, yeah, if you want to roll a wit's insight.
Yeah. Just because I don't want to just give it to her off the bat.
I probably
That
did
makes
wave
sense.
my gun around earlier too. So
No.
But you also
Does
were
she
just
know you
told
have a
that
gun?
Melankov was planning something as well.
Oh,
That's
fair.
true.
So that's why I'm going to give her a little grace. Fuck, 1 success.
You don't pin this on Dorian. Something happened. This could be part of Melankov's step one, and it does make you concerned that something's going on. So with a bit of urgency, Dove, maybe you head outside to try to find Dorian. And as you head outside, we cut back to our other scene outside of the Diamond Yama, where Willow and Ida, as you turn, you see the sight. And Silas, you stand in front of this individual who just put out the last of his cigar on the ground and looks at the two of you, you and Khalil, standing in front of him. Can I help you?
Yeah, we're looking for the Diamond Yama. Confirming this is the place.
This is in fact the place.
My associate here and I were just scouting the building. You must have heard of the recent hunter attacks.
The hunter attacks.
Yes, there's been a multitude of attacks in the city. Just scouting it out before we enter in.
Do you have concerns for the Diamond Yama?
Oh, no, I'm here to see someone, actually. We're here to see someone.
Well, it just so happens that I am a well-known patron of this hotel. Perhaps I can help you. Who are you here to see, and what is your business?
Yes, you see, my father has a holding in this hotel. You might have heard of him, Silas Lysander. We're here to see Sierra.
You see this man, he obviously has a intimidating, menacing look to him.
With the things we've been told about Melankov, how hard is it to put two and two together that this is probably the guy?
I won't even have you roll for it, Silas. As you see the cigar in his mouth and
from
the way
what Willow
he talks,
has told us,
this is him.
Yeah.
You see him kind of do a twist of his neck as he looks down at you. You are looking for Sierra. Well, I'm sorry to tell you she is not here.
Well, that's unfortunate.
You said your father owns this building.
Well, I'm not privy to the exact financial records, but from my understanding, yes, my father, Silas Lysander, and Sierra Van Buris are business partners.
And he begins to laugh at that.
Did I say something
well.
comical?
Yes, you did, in fact. And he immediately grabs you, Silas. He picks you up by your jacket and begins to hold you up. And Khalil looks to step into this and help you. And it's at this time that Malenkov looks at Khalil, and you see from his other arm a twisting shadow penetrates into Khalil, into his side, and you watch it gather around him. And suddenly shadow surrounds Khalil. Willow and Ida, the two of you, see this happening. And you see him pick up, with almost ease, this grip on you, Silas. You can tell that it is strength of his blood that is allowing him to do this.
Sure.
And he looks at you. Well, perhaps I take the son of Silas with me for some business, yes? That's what your family does.
Not me. I'm a doctor. I've come to talk to Sierra. I hate my father. If you have problems with him, feel. I want him dead as much as you do. So if you have business with him, I can help.
And he slams you onto the ground, Silas. You take you take 3 superficial damage. So you're not like into the aggravated damage territory just yet. It hurts.
Oh yeah.
But you're not you're kindred as well, and he's not quite being as aggressive, but he does look to go stand on you. He takes his foot and puts it over your chest and leans down. And he looks down at you. And Ida, what would you like to do?
Piecing together the situation quite easily, walking into this particular scene with Khalil also restrained by shadows, I would like to, from the other side, so imagining that we just arrived in this street from like a side alley, I would like to activate Fata Morgana to make Malenkov suddenly see a bunch of I would say arrows or like gunshots coming his way from the other side of the street. Like people like coming there and suddenly shooting at him. Something to distract him from making him look at the other side where we are not.
Okay. So just go ahead and roll your rouse check for that. And just give me a quick manipulation obfuscate as well.
Yes. I succeed on my rouse check.
Okay.
I guess I can also search for this one. I'll do that as well.
Okay.
And then I'll roll. Pretty powerful. 2, 6. I can, yeah. I'll spend a willpower as well.
Okay.
Okay, that was worth it. 2, 4, 6, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Holy shit. All right. So, are you trying to get him to frenzy from this, like a fear frenzy? Because I
essentially,
think Fata Morgana can do that. Or do you just want him? You know what?
Essentially, I don't want him frenzying because thinking if he frenzies, he's gonna be even more out of control. I really just want him. He was like getting like he was holding Silas, getting ready to pummel him or whatever. I want him to forget about that, to immediately have his attention on the danger that's coming from him on the other side and be completely distracted from us, because my intention is to get closer then while obfuscated and he's not looking at us. That's like the kind of intention.
Okay. Yes, so this does happen, and Silas, you see he's leaning down, getting closer to you, but in a moment you see his glance you see him glance over in a quick panic, and then he steps back like he's trying to dodge something, but you don't see anything in view. So he looks like he's dodging out of the way. This gives you the opportunity to move and get out of here if you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to roll from underneath him and like just get to my feet and make some distance between him and I.
You do. And Ida and Willow, you see Silas get out of the way, but the thing that you see is Khalil. Looks like at this point the shadows have almost completely surrounded him, and your eyes aren't deceiving you. It looks like for a second you saw him, and then for a second the shadows just completely obfuscated him in a way, and he is out of your vision. You can no longer see Khalil, but you do see Silas.
I'm guessing because I used an obfuscate power that I'm not invisible anymore.
Yeah, so you are now visible, but Willow is still obfuscated.
Yeah, and there's a Malankov between me and Silas?
Actually, Silas is now a bit close the distance between you guys. Silas hasn't registered that Ida is in the alleyway yet, but he is a bit closer. So Malenkov's actually a bit farther away from you now that he's kind of moved out of the way of this onslaught that he saw from Ida's vision.
I think a good way for me to show Silas that I'm here is Maki would come up and kind of like come to his foot, like over his foot. You would see the little collar. You know that's Maki.
Oh yeah, it's a diamond encrusted rat collar. I know who that is.
Yeah, that's not no rat.
That's not no alley rat. That's
the rat.
Machiavelli, yeah.
That's the rat. And that's he just puts a little paw on your little leg to let you essentially know that she is close to you.
Is Malankov still reacting, or was it like a 1 second thing?
It looks like he is now distracted. Rolled pretty damn well for her Fata Morgana. So he is still distracted by whatever visions he's seeing right now and isn't paying attention to the three of you.
I can't.
I was gonna say, can I?
Oh, go ahead.
With seeing Machiavelli here, can I? I'm going to look around and see if I can spot Willow.
You do a quick look around the alley, and you don't see Willow, but you do see Ida. You see her in vision now.
And Silas is going to see Ida and go, "All right, Muscles, now's your time."
She's Ida is taking advantage from the fact that Malankov is super distracted from these people who are shooting at him supposedly, and she knowing that she can't go invisible anymore, she's just booking it for him. And as she takes out like a little very small dagger from her boot, assuming they prepared for the job and know that they have to stake him. It's a wooden dagger, and she's just booking it for him, trying to hope that he's distracted enough so she can get an advantage.
Okay. You make a running sprint toward him with the stake ready to do this. And I want you to roll me a dexterity and athletics.
And not melee?
Actually, let me just look at
well, it depends on what you want.
Actually melee, because actually no. Melee is correct because it is a handheld weapon, such as a knife, chain, baseball bat. A stake is a melee weapon often found in the hands of would-be hunters, according to the description.
Would-be hunters.
Those would-be hunters.
Yeah.
I love the description.
I'm also only at hunger 1 still, so I will rouse my blood as well for this one. I do get hungrier.
Good idea.
Yeah, you would think going up against a very powerful old Lysandra. Okay, baby. Muscle, now's your chance. Sure. I'm also gonna spend another willpower on this.
Okay.
Come on, baby. That's 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 with a critical on a hunger dice.
That's scary. I love that.
All right.
So it's a messy crit?
No, that's only if you wait. Oh, wait, I guess, yeah.
Yes, that would be
it's
a
10
messy
on a hunger
crit.
dice. Yeah, yeah.
Yes. One moment.
Tracy hasn't story told in like a
Oh.
long time, and we pull out the messy crit. She's like, "Hold up, guys.
Hold up, wait a
Make
minute."
it-
Real.
Yes.
I also don't remember.
As a matter of fact, this is a good time for us to take a quick break. As Ida runs in with her stake and leaps toward Malankov in this alley, we will take a break to see the results of this and what is going to happen following. So we'll be back in like 10, 15-ish minutes, everybody. So BRB, go grab your snacks, drinks, bio breaks. We'll be back in just a bit. Don't go anywhere. BRB. everybody, and welcome back. So we are about to dive into part 2 of our part 2. And thanks everybody for hanging out with us today, this afternoon. Thanks for dealing with all the little hiccups and stuff we've had here and there. It's been a bit of time since we all last streamed together, so it is nice to be back and slowly get back into the swing of things, into the storytelling, into the playing. So I am very happy to be back, but I appreciate all of you for being here with us and enjoying the story with us, and glad that we have Chris, who was able to call out that, yes, it was in fact a messy critical, and it actually wasn't even 9 successes, it was 10 successes. So that is good for us to note. I realize my, the one downside of learning VTM digitally on Roll20 is that it would always call out messy crits and bestial failures for me, and I never did the mental math myself of what those entail. So it's something that I'm trying to get better at as a storyteller, but I appreciate it when the players also notice it and call it out. So thank you for that, because that does change the trajectory of this scene a little bit, being that it's a messy critical. So let us dive back into the scene of where we were. So Ida, you grab the stake and leap forward toward Malenkov. And with 10 successes, your beast riles in you. And you see nothing but red. When you strike down at Malenkov, he looks up at you, and you look into his eyes. And for a moment, in almost a cliche way, you stare into the abyss. The dark eyes that look at you, that look back at you. You feel the darkness that lingers within him. And you think about Khalil, who was just here with you and is no longer in sight. Your coterie mate, your friend, who was taken by this umbrous clutch and is vanished from you, and that stirs up within you. You take the stake, and you are able to stab into him. And with one last glance at you, you see that smile of his, knowing what's about to happen. And you don't want him tortured. You want him dead. He's staked for now. And your fury, it lingers. And Willow and Silas, you see Ida take Malenkov, and you see him suddenly stop moving. And it's your sign that, yes, it looks like she was successful in putting him in torpor. And you look at Ida, but she doesn't look finished. And it's at this time, around the corner, that individual with the long hair looks down at all of you. And you see him registering what is happening. And he's about ready to leave. Ida, you see him. And you want him next. Oh, girl! And your beast, immediately you answer. You leave Malenkov on the ground and head in the direction of this man to go and take him out. Willow and Silas, you watch this. And you watch her go. It concerns you a bit because you don't know what she's going to do next. You don't know who's around the corner. You don't know who could see any of this. You know that your job was him, Malenkov. And it was supposed to end there, but you watch Ida go off and follow this individual.
I will make myself known, so I will take off my obfuscate, just so Silas can see me.
Ah, there you are. Thank God.
Now what?
Call Lucas. We're done. Get him in the car.
She grabs into her purse and just
Man, she was really good.
Yeah, I know. Hey, look,
Did you
can
see
you
that?
come around the corner? Yeah, it was crazy.
She's just taking off.
No, in the back alley. Yeah, I know. Crazy.
Willow, Silas, it's at this time, as Lucas is answering and talking to you, he lets you know that he will be on his way in just a couple of minutes because he wasn't too far. You start to hear sirens down the road.
Help me pick up this big man.
I can't carry this.
Get together.
Fine. I'll get the ankles. No, I'll get the armpits. You get the ankles.
Okay.
Pull, like, drag him into the loading dock.
Okay. Silas and Willow just pick this big man up.
Silas, 150 pounds soaking wet, you know? Like,
Yeah. Just roll me a quick strength athletics.
We got it.
Oh boy, let's go.
You got this, baby.
He's a big man. He's a
Maki,
big man.
help us.
Yeah, Machiavelli might have to. While they make those rolls, Ida, you just quickly run around the corner and you grab this individual. That's when, as you just grab him for a moment, the beast subsides a little bit and you come to your own senses and you notice that, like, you grab this guy. The seeing red, the blood, the anger, it subsides for just a moment. But he's in your clutches. What would you like to do?
It's the long-haired guy, right?
The long-haired man who was texting.
Oh, he's coming with. I've grabbed him. You know, I'm thinking like if there's a way I can discern if he's human or not. But even if I like feel for a pulse, if a kindred has a blush of life activated, it would still give a pulse. So I will just wrangle this guy with me, and I have him like hooked. I'll like hook an arm around his neck, so that I have him like he has to crouch down basically, while I have him in like a hold, and I'm just gonna say, "Oh, you're coming with," and like dragging him with me.
He just tries to like kind of squirm out of your grasp, and he's just like, please, just let me go. I'm not part of this, okay? Please.
Oh, you're involved in it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be talking to shadows.
And he just whatever you need, I will tell you. Just let me go.
If you'll be quiet, you won't get in harm's way. Otherwise, I can't promise you anything. I'm feeling peckish.
And he quiets from that, and you meet back up with Willow and Silas. What did you guys roll?
2 successes.
I've got a 2 as well. That's high as I can get.
They're struggling a bit, but you see them lift up Malenkov's body somewhat successfully.
Ready to put him in the car.
Like carrying a chest of drawers, you know?
Rule, that's what I'm picturing.
The sirens get closer, and we cut back to Dorian and Dove. Dove, you find Dorian not too far from the building where you exited, and both of you begin to hear this as well, sirens approaching.
We should get back to the group. Go find Malenkov.
Are we not going to talk about the body at the bottom of the elevator? Did you see that?
I did. Is there something you wanted to talk about?
Oh, clearly you're unfazed. Well, fuck, I needed that person. That's who had our information.
What did you gather from Sierra?
That I needed to talk to her ghoul. And now the ghoul's indisposed, and I'm going to have to figure something else out. But I suppose we can rehash that out after a little regroup. Hopefully the poor thing's not dead.
Well, we'll get what we need. Did you learn anything else from her? Anything about her and my father?
Oh, there was that bit about you lot doing something to her sire? I didn't get a lot of details. Do you want to explain?
My family?
She wasn't specific. I'm assuming because she's still with the father, but rather pissed at you. It's probably you or Silas. He also likes to run his mouth.
And Dorian will kind of he'll take that in and register it for a second, and his eyes will darken for a moment before pulling it together. You know, we're still here for one important reason. I think we should get back to the others.
Right. All right, so we're not talking about the side business. Good.
We can talk about it more later.
And for the sake of moving our story along, Dove had reached out to Ida and Khalil, and Ida,
Yes.
you get the message from Dove. Unfortunately, Khalil doesn't reply, but you get a message. The two of you exchange where your locations are. And Dove and Dorian are able to meet back up with the rest of you. Dove, Dorian, you see in the back alley of this hotel a staked large individual with a bald head that you can only guess is Malankov himself, along with Ida having in a chokehold a long-haired individual with Dove. You recognize the designer suit and the long hair that Sierra was describing.
Well, she's looking at Ida as she talks. Darling, did you bag both of these all by yourself?
Someone had to do the physical work. They did lift him into the car, though.
Well, good. Little assistance, always appreciated. Where's Khalil?
Oh.
He wrapped him in
He
some
got
sort of
flicking.
shadow shit.
He's gone.
Yeah.
She turns from flicking her gaze between each Lysander who's speaking and looks at Ida.
Malankov did something right when we arrived. Khalil was there 1 second and then gone the next. I don't know how it happened. I don't know where he is. I'm positive Malankov will have answers for it when he awakens.
She looks down at the man with the stake in his chest. All right, let's get this business taken care of quickly. Well, fuck. What if Jackson doesn't let us question him? What if he...
And just lose a Coterie member? It wouldn't be a good sight for him, would it now? If he would just discard one of his closest Coterie, members like that. You know politics better, but...
I know that we're expendable.
He had plans. Oh, I think he broke a rib or two.
Then we'll find every other La Sombra in the city we need until we get Khalil back.
I mean, we just find Sierra.
Oh, we found Sierra.
Oh.
Oh. She's in the hotel.
In the office building adjacent.
Oh, easy. Oh, that son of a bitch lied.
No.
Well, technically, we were supposed to get Malankov. We've got him.
So,
Okay. Well, this is good. I mean, we need to find Khalil, but mission accomplished.
Lucas pulls up with the vehicle, and you guys begin making the process of putting him in. As you're talking, you're kind of working and talking, getting him in the vehicle, getting the other individual in. Eventually, all kind of piling into the vehicle together with this torpid person, this torpid kindred.
Large man.
Yes. And the sirens do approach, and they don't approach the Diamond Yama, but they do approach the office building next to it and begin to head in. But you all make your way the opposite direction in the car, away from the sirens as they pull up, and the police and ambulance begin to pull in.
What's all that about?
there's a body. I didn't get a good look, but that Malort woman, ghoul,
Her ghoul.
Malort woman?
What a horrible
Sierra's
name.
ghoul.
Who names their ghoul
terrible.
Malort?
Wait, so Sierra was in the hotel or
office building, yes.
office building. She had a ghoul named Malort.
Correct.
Oh, that's horrible.
And
But
Surely.
apparently, she was after Malenkov too. Speaking of, you saw him at the hotel, right? That's where you found him?
Me or Willow?
I'm talking to I assume you. I mean, you're the. I
Collective
don't know
you.
what went down. You have the
Chris,
body now.
Khalil and I were outside, scouting around, looking for Sabbat symbolism. We found it.
And did you find it?
Yes.
So you found Sabbat symbolism
On the Diamond
hotel.
Yama, in the alley. Yes.
that Sierra owns and operates out of.
That your father owns, the ghoul speaks up.
On paper.
Yes, but it's
You're
your...
literally operating.
Who is this guy?
Out of the.
Who are you?
My name's Elijah.
Oh, perfect. That's
Weird man.
one of his names. Ghoul. Good. You've bagged them both. Proud of you.
You should have seen it. I'd have leaped off that loading dock. Dead end.
I know she's
Very
amazing.
cool.
She does this shit all the time.
You should teach
She's
me how to
perfect at
do
it.
that. That's really cool.
But back
Better
to
if you
why are
stay
the
out of
cops here?
danger.
You said something about Malort. What happened to Malort?
Injured in some way. The paramedics are doing something about it. Unfortunately, she was my point of contact for more information, so I hope the poor thing recovers in case Jackson needs more than I've been given presently.
So she was injured. So you.
Look, does it matter? People get hurt. Okay.
Just a ghoul
Ambulances come.
anyway. No offense,
But they
Lucas.
don't
We
just-
have our job completed here, and one thing I know is that Sierra wants Malenkov too.
Correct.
So-
she's not on good terms with him. Was trying to clean it up in house, so they say. But
So she says.
well,
I don't know
that's
if I
true.
believe that. I don't know if that's the story that we need to tell the prince.
Well, Malenkov was planning something.
Correct. She's said as much, which was her rationale for trying to handle this discreetly.
Well, what was he planning? What did she say?
I don't know, and she didn't know either. That's why she was looking
Has
into
something
it.
to say. Hold up, he has something to say.
Uh,
She has him still hooked.
Yes. It doesn't matter. Anyway, whatever. It's all done anyway. The Sabbat, they're here. In the city. And it doesn't matter what Sierra wants or what your prince wants. Malenkov's already made his dent. And he's going to make sure that a message is sent.
What message?
Just a welcoming gift for your prince.
Be more specific. Tell me his plan exactly. And I'm gonna do another compel. I'm gonna do not another.
Dorian, just do the thing you do.
Yeah.
Dorian, just make them tell us.
Is he like as ghouls? Are they don't count like humans? Is that an automatic? Do I have to roll for that, or are they like? Is that an automatic?
I'm gonna have you roll for it. So go ahead and rouse, and then roll your compel.
Okay.
Just to see how well you do.
Okay, failed the rouse check, so back up to 3 hunger, but 8 successes on the
Slay
dominate.
King.
8 successes.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Okay. Man, you guys have all been rolling really high in your successes. I'm
I
concerned.
did use willpower and re-roll a few. to get
Okay,
that one.
that's fair. That's fair. Okay. He looks to you all. Well, Sierra, her hotel, it's been marked. And, well, tonight there was... She was going to be taken out at the hotel.
Why'd we stop that?
Fuck me.
You're kidding. We could have let her die. Oh, we're so stupid.
Oh, we had a job.
But that's all right. There were contingencies. There are others that Malkavian has had his eyes on. He knows all of the Primogen, and his plan was to take one of them out, if not Sierra. Don't ask me who, because I didn't get those details. But one of them might not make it to see your next, what do they call them? Elysiums.
Good thing
It's just a
Deucible's
little
not a
gift.
Primogen.
It's just a gift to let you know that what's happening in this city with our, well, he doesn't have to say our clan because he's not a Lysander, with his clan. It's not going to fly for that much longer.
Ida slaps a hand over his mouth and is like, okay, that is enough out of you.
Go ahead and kill me. You got everything you wanted from me, right?
Kill you.
I want one more question. What is Sierra's problem with my family?
You know, if you scorn one of them, like my master, Malkavian for Sierra, they will stop at nothing. They are called ruthless. And they will stop at nothing to act their own vengeance upon that. So perhaps Sierra did something, or you did something to cross Sierra.
Dove
Do we need
makes
him?
eye contact with Dorian.
Okay.
Please. I don't want to be here any longer.
Oh, Elijah, was it? Elijah?
He nods.
Sweet dear boy, you misunderstand. See, as long as you're useful to us, as long as your master has our Coterie member, I'm going to make sure you stay with us and
You do not leave this easily. I don't care if I have to bound and gag you for all the way. I don't care if I have to bloodbound you until you can say no words anymore. I don't care. You're not getting out of this easily. So be a good little boy. And be quiet now.
You...
Wolf is what you say.
You look at him, Ida. And...
Oh, she has donned, by the way.
He shuts up. But you do notice him looking around the vehicle, his eyes darting around. But he shuts up.
Let's go back to the prince.
What?
What's our next move? The job is done. I mean, we can go after Sierra, and believe me, I want to. But we can find her again. I don't want to risk losing Malenkov. I don't know what other Lysander are out here, what other people are allied with Sierra. If we lose Malenkov, that's more trouble than it's worth. Right?
Correct.
Fine.
Okay. And we'll support you in advocating for the prince to make sure that we get Khalil back. We're not gonna leave anybody behind.
I appreciate that.
What?
Willow, in the little side compartment there, can you open it for me and give me a vial and a needle?
Yeah. She grabs it. Hands it.
I want to take Malenkov's blood.
Oh, good idea.
Okay.
If there's anything that can tell me about how the Lysander operate, it will be in here. If I can somehow learn something from it where Khalil is, this will help. Look, I've never staked anyone before. Have you?
No.
Ida?
I think, yeah, so she'll just nod. Yes.
Me drawing his blood won't make him stir or anything, will it?
No, if he ever awakens, when he awakens, he will be ravenous either way. And you taking some blood won't make a big difference.
Done. And I will take a vial of Malenkov's Vitae.
Can you do that, Silas?
Interesting. It's darker than usual.
Oh. I has a question as well.
Yes.
Can I peer into his mind when he's like this?
Ooh. You could try that, yes.
I would like to try.
You only have premonition, right? You don't have any other Auspex abilities at this point?
Correct. Hers are just when she touches someone, she sees something in their future. At least when it comes to people specifically.
Yes, if you'd like to try to get some insight or vision from Malenkov, you can go ahead and roll me a rouse check and then your resolve and Auspex.
Let me rouse. I get hungrier. And then let me roll my Auspex. Bloop. And bloop. Not bad, 5.
5 successes, okay.
LFG.
Willow, you just kind of maybe place your hands on his head while he's in this torpid state to just get some insight on what is going on in his head and what is going on with Malenkov. And You all watch for a moment. Willow, once again, goes into that state of disassociation, and she sees, Willow, you see that moment again with Khalil. The outstretched, almost tentacle-like shadows slowly creeping around Khalil and then consume him. And you see what you can only describe as complete darkness, with slow drips around, ooze and blackness. Nothing else in sight. And you see Khalil fall down on the ground in fear, grabbing his head, clutching at whatever he can around him, but there is nothing, just darkness. And you see standing over him is Melankov, and Khalil almost being consumed by the shadow that is Melankov into his own clutches. And then nothing. Just fear is all you feel. But his presence lingers somewhere. Perhaps it is not in this material realm. But you, being a Malkavian, know that there is more than just this realm. There are other layers. And now Khalil is in another layer, another dimension, something that you can't describe. But you see him there, just afraid. Afraid of everything around him. And then you're brought back.
It's a big old breath. And one of those awkward smiles. And she just puts her hand down and she sits back in her seat. And that's it.
Are you not going to tell us what you saw?
I don't really know what to make of it yet. But I know Khalil's not dead. I saw him.
Well, that's reassuring.
Yeah. He's probably like on another plane.
Another plane?
Yeah. There's more than just this one.
You mean like a layer of reality?
Yeah. Exactly that, actually.
Dev exchanges a look with Ida. Like, she's
Silas.
really not sure what
Yes.
to believe.
Roll me an intelligence and intelligence occult.
You know, there's like different places you can be other than this place.
I didn't know that. How do you get to other planes of existence?
Well, for me, and people like me, we have our own kind of plane where we can talk to each other, so I bet the Lysander have something similar. It was completely shadowed in darkness, but I could see Khalil very clearly. He was very
Silas.
afraid.
Silas, as your sister's describing this, and you're kind of calculating it in your own mind, it slowly begins to make a bit more sense, or perhaps from what you've learned and studied from the Lysander and their abilities dealing with the abyss. And you don't quite even, it's even for you and your like logic, science oriented, medicine oriented brain can't fully describe it, but you've dealt in blood magic, so you know anything's possible.
Yep.
But you know that there is a potential other realm, and then with their oblivion, they are able to have some dealings with this other realm, the Abyss. And in some ways, you know that that could be possible because you've seen even your brother, your Alan,
Yeah.
in another realm of existence.
Yep.
So that is kind of what you are gathering from what your sister is describing here.
What Willow's trying to say is and he's totally gonna be Silas and mansplain this, by the way. What Willow is trying to say, different clans have different abilities. Obviously, we have different disciplines. In our dealings we've dealt with a Hakata before. They have access to the dead. We've spoken to our ghost brother. The Lysander probably have access to some sort of shadowy plane, dimension.
Yeah.
All right.
He was
Well,
probably
it's a good
taken
thing
there.
Mal and whatever isn't dead. Hopefully he can retrieve him, because I'm
He's alive for now.
worried.
Yeah.
Right, I don't want Jackson to kill him. That's my concern. Because perhaps this is one of those ordeals where only the individual who creates this whatever is able to retrieve him. Perhaps it's not all Lysander that has specific access to this specific thing.
Dove, you had a chat with Sierra, right?
Yes, I did.
Do you think it was amicable enough to have another chat?
I certainly have been keeping that up my sleeve, yes. If... of course, she gives a look at the Lysanders real quick before she's, very open with Ida. First plan of attack is to speak to Jackson. Perhaps allow us to negotiate with Malenkov, and if all this fails, yes, hopefully Sierra will be forthcoming enough to assist us, but what if this is some sort of thing where only the individual who causes this reaction has the ability to undo it?
We're not La Sombra, we don't know that. However, I mean, it would be foolish of Jackson to just outright kill Malenkov. If he wanted Malenkov dead, he would have said final death. Instead, he asked
It was
for
on
him
the table.
staked. Yes, but seeing as we have a lovely informant here, saying that there are lots of plans Malenkov put into action for the Sabbat, I'm sure it's beneficial that they get the plans out of Malenkov, seeing as his little subordinates don't know everything.
You're right.
What if we gave him to Sierra? And Silas nods to the ghoul.
I don't know if there's
Why?
any express interest in him, but at least
Do
it
you think we
didn't
can
sound
get
that way.
something out of it?
It's just a thought.
I can try.
He has information. Sierra wants information. He kind of just spilled the beans and told her that the Sabbat were planning something with the Camarilla Primogen.
Ida looks at Dove. You don't think it's best to keep him as our guard up our sleeves when we go to Jackson?
What if? What if we keep him in our back pocket for a moment? We don't give him to Jackson until we see how Jackson behaves. Jackson is kind enough to let us interrogate Malenkov. Then we give him the ghoul. If not, it's security.
We weren't told to retrieve this ghoul. That
Correct.
wasn't part of our mission, right?
Exactly.
We're not breaking any rules, and we still need to find Khalil. And if other avenues are exhausted, we have another person close to Malenkov that might be able to point us in a direction. It's not a bad idea.
Darling, it's Khalil. you know, he'd do the same for you. He would for all of us. It wasn't explicitly asked of us to bring the ghoul. We're not breaking rules. We're not completing the mission in a half-assed manner. We're just making sure Khalil's all right.
As much as I'd
Please.
want this job done, Khalil is a member of my clan, and our numbers are paltry at best. So having more Tremere in the Chantry makes me happy.
Why don't you just wake him up?
Malenkov.
Yeah.
In the car.
Not here.
That seems dangerous.
You were talking about questioning him before we take him.
He
He
picked me up like a twig and threw me on the ground.
I was
threw
really about
Khalil-
to say, Willow, it might have seemed very easy for me to just stake him. It won't be that easy again.
We also lost Khalil in the process.
I know, but why take the chance? If Khalil means that much to you, why don't you just find out how to get him back now?
Well, okay. Well, let's talk this through. We have another Tremere here, right? So, Silas, is there anything in your bag of tricks that we could use to subdue
Find
someone
him?
this powerful? I mean, it would need to be ironclad. The way Critas talked about him, and just, I trust Ida's assessment.
And this is ironclad for Malenkov, not Khalil, correct?
I
Yes.
assume you would.
There's
Yeah,
nothing
take
in my
that.
bag of tricks that would make Malenkov cooperate. No. Nothing that I could do tonight.
Nothing you couldn't stop, you don't have any, like, Tremere magic that'll, like, bind him so he can't go anywhere, and then Dorian can tell him what to do, and then he can tell us how to get to Khalil?
Unfortunately not, no. Like I said, nothing I can do tonight. It would take a couple days.
Well, if we were... She's looking at Dorian. If we were quick enough, perhaps.
Okay, well,
Waking him up in this car.
Bad idea.
Well, I
That
mean,
will
we don't
put
have it in
you-
the car.
We'll put a
that
lot of you
seems
in danger.
dangerous. But, okay, there's nothing you can do now, Silas, and maybe we have to take him to the prince. You have his blood. Do you
I
need
do.
is there? Gosh, I don't even know. You don't tell us the kind of things you can do. I just gotta guess, right? Like, can you take a mental image of his mind? Can you like look into his past? Like, what the fuck can you do? I don't know.
Can I look into Malenkov's past?
If we take his blood, if we take more blood, I don't know.
Yes, in theory, I could speak to Malenkov's sire and Malenkov's sire's sire, and I can learn things from them, but that would take time.
I thought
Hell.
you had his sire.
What?
Isn't that what... She looks at Dorian again. That's what Sierra said.
Oh, forget what Sierra says.
It's a lie.
Well, it's a little relevant right now, isn't it?
She's just angry.
Well,
Angry
I
that
wasn't.
you took her sire?
Is that what she said? You
Well-
said that she was upset that we had done something
To her sire?
to her sire.
I don't
Correct.
even
Our
know her.
family.
Alright, that's interesting information. We'll deal with that later.
It's at this
Dorian
time-
would steal a glance at Silas and kind of lock eyes with him for a moment, and
It's at. Oh,
let it go on.
I just lost
Sorry.
my audio.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
can you hear
Oh,
us?
You good?
Test, 1, 2.
Test.
Shit.
Oh,
Oh no.
is your headset died?
We hear
We hear
you.
you.
Yeah.
Her headset maybe died?
Get the flame.
The flame.
The heavy.
Oh, I'm back. I'm back.
Yay!
Okay.
Okay. So
One more
funny.
thing goes wrong.
I'm sorry.
Screaming into the void. Okay. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, we could hear you fine the
Okay,
first
yes,
time too.
Yes.
Perfect.
Okay. It's at this time, Willow, that Lucas rolls down the window and just says, excuse me for interrupting, but I think we're being followed.
Followed?
There's a tinted black sedan that's been tailing us for the past few blocks.
Fuck.
Oh, we're gonna have to lose them.
I could do my best.
Well, that's why you're that's why I have you.
Okay, I will do my best.
Okay.
But if not...
Where's Marcus?
I don't know.
Yeah, Dorian, where's Marcus?
I don't know. Apparently, Sierra did something to him, and I don't have a phone for him right now.
Oh, Lucas, can we call Marcus?
She was talking about Lucas's blood sickness.
Yes.
Yes, that's what she was talking about.
She was talking about cursing because she doesn't know that.
Because remember, he couldn't eat food.
You remember?
She did nothing to Marcus.
I thought she was talking about Marcus.
She just meant the collective
tailing
Yeah.
her.
Yeah.
I thought that Marcus,
I thought she was talking about because she cursed Lucas.
I
and
thought
then
it was
I had to do the blood transfusion on him. That's when you
probably wouldn't have shot Malord if that was the case.
When you shot Malord, I was like, damn, you really like Lucas.
Well, you know what? Both of them, have been in our lives for many years. Yeah, they've been in our family.
Been with us forever.
You know what? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He would have done it both ways. Yeah.
Can we get Lucas? Can we get Marcus on the phone? Wait, I have a phone. Oh wait, I have to get Maki because my fingers.
You call up Marcus, and Marcus answers.
Hi.
Hi. I was supposed to be. Your brother, Dorian. He had me doing something.
Looking for Sierra. That's why I thought that she had gotten you.
And I don't know where she is.
Oh, is that you tailing us right now, Black Sedan?
No.
Oh, where are you then?
I was at the hotel.
Okay. You all right?
No. I'm just sorry. I just kind of was a little confused this evening.
That's okay. Well, we've got someone tailing us right now. I'm gonna send you a ping where we're at right now, and if you could just take care of them.
Okay.
You know,
yes.
like the take care of them. You catch
Dove
my
exchanges
drift.
a look with Ida.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Bye.
Understood. Yes, and he hangs up. Boop.
Okay. it's
Marcus is
handled.
special forces. He's good.
He's gonna take care of them.
Did you just put out a hit on those people?
He's gonna take care of them. And she does a very exaggerated little wink at you.
All right.
I send my little ping.
Where are we?
You are driving through Chicago right now. Lucas is going to the direction of the ivory tower where the prince is.
Okay.
So you'll probably be there in the next 10 minutes.
Well, he wasn't that far. Yeah, Marcus isn't far. He'll take care of whoever's tailing us.
Are you sure they're a tail, Lucas?
I'm pretty certain, yes.
I hope so, because that will be really awkward if they get taken care of.
Correct. Lucas, can you make your way through River North?
Yes.
I hate River North.
I know.
Why are we going through River North?
Because it's neighborhood.
Are we taking the long route?
Yes.
Okay.
It's the neighborhood we know best. If we need to bail, we can bail.
Okay.
With this guy.
We have bodies in our car.
Well,
we
it's
have to
probably
bail-
his goons.
If we have to bail, we give him the final death. Real quick.
No.
Take him with. It'll be fine, Dove. We will take him with if we have to bail.
You're gonna carry him
If I have to.
Yes.
while being shot at, while being charged by potential Sabbat.
And clearly we care about our friends more than you do.
Melanchov's your friend. Did I not just take
He
his
might
blood
have
to
the
find Khalil for
information.
you?
You don't know if that blood's going to do fuck all.
And
I was willing to lie to the
appreciate
prince.
And you're gonna
We
what?
don't
Give your
know-
life for Malenchov?
No, of course not. But if I can do it, I'm going to.
Okay.
I'm not saying that we abandon Khalil, but if we lose Malenkov, that's worse. We have no idea if Malenkov is key to getting Khalil back. It's just a theory.
Jackson wanted
But-
him staked or dusted.
If we lose Malenkov, it doesn't matter if we get Khalil back. We are in a lot of trouble, aren't we?
After a few minutes, Willow, you get another call from Marcus.
Is he taken care of?
No. I
What?
think it's her.
Her? Like the bitch.
Yes.
Oh my god. Order still stands.
Yeah. Dorian pulls out his
I'm
gun.
not canceling that order, y'all.
Whoa, whoa.
Willow hates Sierra.
We're in an enclosed space, Dorian. Put that away.
I'm
Go
just
on.
prepared just in case.
Jesus.
I mean, if you can take her out, that would be great. Or at the very least,
You
shoot
know
her
what?
tires out.
She's one of you, and I can't take her out the way I normally do.
I know, but could you just take the tires out?
All right.
All right, it'll be all right.
How about we just keep going to the Ivory Tower? She's a member of the Camarilla.
Because I hate her. Okay,
So-
and I would love her.
So do I. But I want this
Okay,
job to be
so
done.
we're not gonna kill her.
So this
What,
big
what is she gonna
motherfucker can get
complain
out of my
about? That we
sight.
shot her tires out?
Well, Marcus isn't asking you; he's asking me.
Just
What's the worst that happens? Like, are we gonna get reprimanded for breaking her car?
Just
It's a
shoot the
car.
fucking tires.
Marcus, shoot the tires out. Thank you. You're doing so good.
good boy.
I
You
will
got
take
this,
care
Marcus.
of
I
My
yelled.
goals. Okay.
it. Okay. Are you guys sure that you want to let Marcus take care of Sierra?
Well, he's just shooting the tires out. He's just shooting the tires out.
Okay.
He's
All
not,
right.
he's not my
No,
ghoul.
all right.
He's not my
Hold
ghoul.
on. All
He's not my ghoul.
All right. All
Dorian?
right.
no, you're scaring me now. It's my goal.
That's Dorian's school. Me just throwing away Dorian's
Okay.
school.
Okay. No,
Hold up.
it's the order has been the execute order 66 has been
Order
done.
66.
Oh, that's it.
I'm rolling my window down to help if I can. All right, I'm pointing my gun at the window.
Okay. So, all right. So, you guys are taking the long route through. You're taking the long route through River North. You eventually make your way back toward downtown, toward the loop, where the Ivory Tower is. You pull up, and there is no vehicle that follows you. There is a secure location when you do make eyes with some of the guards at the tower that you pull to a back garage park garage where you are able to take Malenkov out should you desire and bring him up to the prince.
Okay,
You grab
did we
him.
See did we see anything that happened with the car that was tailing us, or we turned a corner and they turned a different corner?
You turn the corner, you don't know what happened.
I think I would like to wait in the car while they take. One, I do hate going into the ivory tower. It's against my religion. Two, I would like to wait with the ghouls.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wait.
I'll wait with Lucas. And hopefully hear from Marcus while they take Malenkov in.
If you decide to wait in the car, I think I do have to bring up the Elijah thing, being as in like he's still awake and conscious, and we need to decide what to do with him. So, Ida will turn to Dove and say, "I want to keep him. I don't want to hand him over."
Agreed.
Honestly, at this point, I don't think blood bonding him will do any use, since we don't know how powerful Malenkov's blood is. So we have to... I mean, I can knock him unconscious, but I don't know if he'll remain that way for the entire period we'll be inside.
Could we simply tie him up? Leave him in the car?
Do you want more information from him? I can interrogate him. We don't need to blood bond him.
I just want him around without, per se, Jackson being able to lay claim on him.
Okay. So we leave him in the car.
Yeah, you can stay here with me.
Okay, can we maybe call another? I don't know. Okay. I kind of want Lucas to go help Marcus.
I can go. I can make sure they do that if you guys want to go in. And why don't you just stake this guy, and we'll throw him in the trunk.
He's a human.
Oh right.
Why don't you just kill me?
Oh, fuck it. I'll just take him by the neck and say that he's my ghoul now. I'm sure Prince Jackson won't mind.
If he runs his mouth, though, that's risky.
If he knows stuff about Malenkov, Prince Jackson might want scorched earth and erase everything.
We have to leave
She'll
him
look
here.
at Dorian. There's no way you can manipulate his mind to just sit here and not be able to do anything.
How long I mean, I could tell him to. Storyteller, how confident would I like if I compelled somebody and said sit in this spot for 6 hours? Are they staying there for 6 hours?
Yeah, I would say you probably could do that.
Okay.
Like sit and be quiet.
Yeah, I'm gonna say sit and be quiet until Ida tells you otherwise.
Go ahead and make your roll for the compel. Another rouse check.
Rouse check. Yeah, I'm getting. Okay, succeeded on that one. 5 successes. Actually, let me roll. There's no reason not to re-roll.
Why not?
Right.
As a treat.
Why shouldn't you?
After all, why not?
I've got enough willpower. 6 successes.
You issue this command, and with another rouse of your blood, you feel the words come out not as a request, but as a demand. And he listens and sits. And the rest of you bring Malenkov up. So Willow, you're going to stay here. Ida, are you staying as well, or are you going with them?
I'm going with.
Okay. You go. Dove, you go. Dorian and Silas, you all. You actually go and make an to the lobby area of the Ivory Tower, and to your after some exchanges, it's actually Sheriff Damien who comes out, and he comes alongside a Nosferatu hound that you saw once at the Elysium, who works alongside Alexa Santos. His name is Wanaka, And Damien and Wanaka follow you to your vehicle to see Malenkov, and they grab him, and they take him away.
We need to see the prince.
Damien looks to you. You will see the prince. We're taking Malenkov.
He has one of our members.
We are taking him. You can see the prince.
Right now?
They exchange glances. Yes. If you brought Malenkov, we have to make sure everything's good. You will be able to see the prince now.
Right. Thank you.
They take him away, and they usher him somewhere in his torport state. And after another maybe like 5-10 minutes, you do kind of have to wait for a bit. The prince doesn't see you immediately, but you wait another 10-15 minutes, and eventually someone comes down to bring you upstairs to the Ivory Tower, to Prince Jackson's office. And you see him, the familiar face of your prince, the Ventrue prince. His presence, his aura, always intimidating. Tall, well-dressed. He sits at his desk and turns in the chair and stands up upon your entrance. Well, this isn't a pair that I would have expected to see together now. From what I hear, from what Damien tells me, you brought Malenkov. But it wasn't something I had both the Lysanders and my esteemed coterie doing together. Who was it that set you up for this?
Caden Bartlett, if my memory serves.
Yes, well, he smirks at that and kind of just like does like a chuckle at that. Leave it to Bartlett to be making such great alliances, I would say. It seems you have brought him here, Malenkov. This was all
As
of your
you
work
requested.
together, and he looks at the four of you.
Correct.
So what is it? What happened? How did this all happen?
We were thankfully able to come upon Malenkov outside of a hotel. He did dispense with Khalil, however, in a way I'm not familiar with.
It was Sierra's hotel, Diamond Yama.
I see. Sierra's hotel. And you said that he did something with your coterie mate.
Some sort of shadow manipulation, another realm sort of discipline I'm not familiar with.
We think he took him into the abyss.
That wouldn't be out of the realm of possibility. It's unfortunate that that had to happen to Khalil. He was an esteemed Tremere.
Was my prince.
Well, I'm not one that is an expert in the abyss. If he's gone, he's gone.
We'd very much like to request an opportunity before you do whatever it is you wish with Malenkov to interrogate him so as to find a means of retrieving Khalil.
He is currently with my sheriff and hounds. They will be doing some interrogation.
Would it be possible to add Khalil to that list?
I will have them added to their list. Know that there are many pressing matters happening in the city with the Sabbat. That will remain a priority. If there is anything that we can get about what happened with Khalil, we'll be sure to relay that information.
Thank you very much.
Now, is there anything else about this hotel incident that you can give me details on?
It did have Sabbat markings on the outside. Khalil and I
Interesting.
observed them from the alley where Malenkov ambushed us.
Sabbat markings on the Diamond Yama Sierra's hotel. Now that certainly is not a good look.
We use Momo?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Well, that's all right. I guess she's out of the car. Willow ain't here, so...
She, Sierra claims that she was trying to take care of Malenkov in-house. I don't know if that makes sense to you, Prince.
So you heard this from Sierra?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, I'm sure Sierra will have to answer for that then. If that is what happened. And this is the incidents of her hotel. What's most important is that Malenkov has been delivered.
He did mention something else before he was staked, and he glances at the others because the others know that he wasn't there before he was staked. You know, he said that they were planning something tonight. That they wanted to maybe take care of Sierra, or send some kind of message, potentially to one of the Primogen. Maybe that will help with your interrogation. It seems that they're going to do it tonight.
You see Jackson calculate in his mind at this time. His eyes kind of looking out and thinking about that Primogen meeting that was happening tonight at the Succubus Club, where Critas, Annabelle, and all of the Primogen were attending. The club. That he doesn't say that out loud. But he looks to all of you. And perhaps that crosses your mind as well when you see him thinking, you're thinking about it yourself, where the Primogen were, where you saw Critias.
And Annabelle.
And Annabelle. Well, this information is very helpful, thank you. And I must say that I hadn't expected that my Maréchal Coterie and the Lysander Coterie would be working together, but I am nonetheless pleased that you were able to take care of this for me and my court. You will earn my favor in that of a boon, should you need it. And understand that the boon for the Lysanders and for you, Dove and Ida, I will do what I can to help your coterie mate.
The Lysanders are always at your service, Prince Jackson. We'll work with any coterie. within the Camarilla.
My harpy will be in touch with more information and details on what information we learn from this. For now, I have other matters to deal with. But I thank you for your work and for handling this so swiftly. And I'll have to give Caden my regards for bringing you all together to deal with it. It is appreciated.
Of course.
Of course, my prince.
You see him turn, and you know that that is usually his sign of dismissing you. And you all exit. Head back downstairs, to the garage, to the car. Willow, you've been waiting, and you haven't heard from Marcus.
Oh, I would have called already.
You call, and the phone just rings and goes to voicemail.
Of course.
The voicemail. This is Marcus. Leave a message.
Lucas?
The classic guy voicemail.
Classic. He's just a guy. He's just a Chicagoan guy. I love him.
Lucas, we're gonna go get him, right?
We can trace our path back to River North. That's where we last saw them. See if we can find them.
Okay. Well, let's do that while they're in there.
As this happens, Willow, do you want to go while they're talking with Jackson?
I don't give a fuck about that man in the car. I care about my goal.
Okay.
And that man in the car is not going anywhere. I'm gonna lock him in.
You leave.
That shit child locked.
With Lucas. You guys return, and Willow and Lucas are gone. But the man is still in the car.
Yeah.
By the way, because I have Terminal Decree, I assume that he will literally stay there until he starves to death if Ida doesn't.
Terminal Decree do be doing that.
Yes. Willow is gone. Willow, you trace your steps with Lucas, and you cannot find Marcus or his vehicle or the tinted vehicle.
Oh, I hate this. I hate this.
And the rest of you, annoyed because you don't know where Willow is. It takes probably another 15, 20, 30 minutes. You guys wait. Willow eventually returns.
We don't find him anywhere?
There was no car
trace.
wreck, no sign of any busted out tires.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Oh, she mad. Big Angie. I'm gonna throw all my money at this. Take my.
You all return back together.
Oh, how'd the meeting go?
Where did you go?
To look for Marcus.
Did you find him?
No sign. No tire marks, no car, no nothing. But we'll find him.
Well, we did good by the prince.
At the cost of Marcus and Khalil? Fine.
We don't.
You know my opinions on it. I'm not gonna tout it. And I'll be quiet.
Like I said, I will do everything I can to try to find Khalil. It may take some time, though.
What's the price on it?
There's no cost on this. We're working together. You're a part of our group.
What are you
until we're
offering?
done.
Yeah, Dorian.
Dove shares a look with Ida. I don't know. I guess we'll have to come up with something, won't we?
Like I said, Khalil is a valued member of the Tremere. When, or if, I can find some way to access the Abyss, which I'm not making any promises. I'm not familiar with Lysander disciplines, but I'm sure the Chantry has something I can study. Khalil's gifted. If anything, maybe if I can put out some sort of lure, they'll be able to find their way out themselves. I don't think I could enter the Umbra or Abyss or whatever the hell they call it myself, but like I said, if I can light a signal fire for him or something. Do you have anything of his? Any personal items will be helpful.
Yeah, of course I've got tons of it at the apartment.
The closer to him, the better.
Okay.
Mementos.
Clothing?
If he wears it every day, yes. Something that his essence would have bound to. And something that he doesn't mind being destroyed in the process.
Oh.
Oof.
And he left that one of his hats at the apartment. Do you think that's good enough?
What does it matter if it's destroyed or not, if the other option is him not coming back? I mean, I
You're
don't
right.
see the problem.
Just imagining him pissed at me later.
We'll get him a new hat.
He likes this one. He was cross he left it. But I guess that makes it all the better for this purpose.
Get that stuff to me at the Chantry and I'll do what I can.
Is the Chantry just on a map or something? How do I get there?
It's in Hyde Park, just south of Chinatown.
Right. Does it have a number attached to the building?
No.
Can you describe it for me?
It's big and old. It's close to the University of Chicago. It's actually in the University of Chicago, correct? It's a building on the campus, is it not?
I don't know if it's on the campus. The New York Chantry, there is one on a campus.
Oh, maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
Yes, there is a.
Silas will give Dove what it looks like. You can't miss
Thank
it.
you.
Yes.
Perfect. Yeah, I can ask for you.
Just knock and say this is for Silas, and someone will give it to me. Unfortunately, you won't be allowed inside.
All right, I can handle that. I'll have it to you as soon as I can. Does this thing work better if I have more than one item?
The more the merrier, yes.
Oh. Well.
Does he have a loved one?
It's us, as far as I
Are
know.
they going to be destroyed also?
Okay. No, Dorian, relax.
Just checking.
If you had a picture of your coterie, a memento that binds you all together, something meaningful.
Yeah, I have a few Polaroids about. He fucking hates when I take them, but I have them.
Easy. Well, not easy, but better.
If it will help, it will help.
Well, guess with that we will get off of your back. I will take that one with me.
See if you can pry anything else out of him.
I will definitely try.
Have a good rest of your night.
You as well.
And
like literally only aimed at Willow, she'll say, "Stay safe."
Two. Maybe you can teach me some cool tricks later.
Maybe.
Ida and Dove, the two of you, depart and make your way back to your haven without the third member of your coterie that you were hoping to have with you. The Lysanders, the three of you, make your way back to your havens without one of your ghouls that you would have hoped to have with you. But the job is done. The Sabbat have been quelled within the city of Chicago without their leader, Malenkov. But there was some collateral, unfortunately. You don't know the details of what happened. Not yet. But as the nights pass, a harpy does eventually arrive to sort out the official details of the job that you did with Jackson, which we will discuss soon in our next session. But she also hands you a note, an invitation to an Elysium that is to be happening to discuss some important news to the future of the Camarilla based on events that happened.
Oh boy.
And that is where our session will end, as the job is finished, but at some cost to it, as many things. And when we return on Friday, we will be summoned to an Elysium of the Camarilla to learn of the aftermath of what all has happened, not just with the Sabbat, not just with the Primogen, not just with the Lysander, but perhaps some of the other things that have been happening in the city. The Anarchs, the Hunters. Learning about all of these things and getting a formal official status update from the Prince is in order. And that will be happening this Friday. So hope to see you there if you're able to join us live on Friday. But other than that, job well done to both of our coteries for taking care of Malenkov for Prince Jackson. Another somewhat successful job done for all of you. Thank you to our coterie for joining us once again. And hey, thanks, Caden, for bringing them together.
Oh,
you know?
stop. Get off.
No, Adam, get out of chat.
Yeah. I want to get off Caden's wild ride, please. It's awful.
In the end,
Caden, please.
once again, he wins once again. Look at that. Look at that.
Tracy, you got something on your nose right here. I don't know.
You should talk to Caden about that one. But
Caden
that
got
is
something on his nose.
yeah, exactly.
Damn
But that is
straight.
all for us. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us. Thanks for watching us. We will see you potentially tomorrow for Ignite Recall if you join us for
Please
our
do.
Scum and Villainy campaign. See you on Friday, this Friday, for Ancestral Blood, or see you on Monday, 1 week from now, for Werewolf the Apocalypse. Hopefully see you for all of them. So thanks, everybody, again. We will see you in the next one. And as always, don't let the beast win. Goodbye.
We'll get revenge for Marcus.